Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. Tonight's podcast is 7 ways why I stopped being told what to do to liberate me. I stopped being told what to do because every command I obeyed was a quiet surrender of my sovereignty. Obedience kept me small, predictable, and aligned with a world that benefited from my compliance more than my clarity. The moment I quit letting others script my next move, I felt the lock break, unbind the mind, and the past dissolve. As my sovereign rise, liberation didn't come from the rebellion, it came from recognition. I recognized that my power was never missing, it was muted by the noise of instructions, expectations, and inherited rules that were never mine. When I stopped being told what to do, I stopped living as a character and instantly living as my conscious awareness. I stopped performing and started perceiving prowess. I stopped following and instantly listening. As I stopped obeying, I instantly awakened. My liberation began the moment I claimed my authorship and refused to let anyone else hold the pen. 7 ways why I stopped being told what to do, because that is social obedience that was keeping me stuck in the past. I stopped being told what to do the moment I realized every command I obeyed was a relic from a world that I no longer lived in. Social obedience kept me loyal to outdated scripts, inherited rules, recycled fears, and mind-made identities that belong to the past, never to my here and now. Every time I followed instructions, I was rehearsing a version of myself that no longer existed. Every time I listened inward, I was meeting the sovereign I was actually becoming and experiencing. Obedience chained me to history. Awareness pulled me into the here and now scenarios of my dreamer's dexterity. Questioning cracked the spell, listening broke the leash. I never rise because I learned more. I rose because I stopped letting the past tell me who I was allowed to be. The moment I stopped being told what to do, I stopped being a character in an old story and started being the author of my fresh experiences. Why stop being told what to do? Because being told what to do kept me obedient to the script of socialized ways of life instead of awakened to my signal. Every command I followed strengthened the character, not the consciousness. Obedience made me predictable. Awareness made me perceive prowess on the strolling through life. The moment I stopped letting others narrate my next move, my sovereignty came back online and unleash my divine daredevilry sets me free. Because instructions train me to authority, trust authority while listening train me to trust me and awaken me to trust me. Being told what to do kept me dependent on the external direction. Do you see that in your life? I do. I did in mine. Because I was always looking for somebody to follow or something to do. But listening and sovereignty crack open instinct, questioning dissolves the illusions. The more I trusted my own perception, the less I needed anyone's permission. Because following made me smaller, as awareness made me unstoppable, and awakened aware of the dare of life. Being told what to do kept me in compliance, comfort, and captivity. Awakening pulled me into clarity, courage, and clean choices that I rejoice in the here and now. Why I stopped being told what to do was for my highest expansion. I stopped being told what to do the moment I realized obedience was shrinking me faster than fear ever could. Every instruction I followed kept me loyal to a smaller self, a self built from approval, performance, and inherited scripts that never matched my sovereign signal. My highest expansion never arrived through guidance, gurus, or good behavior. It arrived and thrived the moment I chose to listen inward, question everything outward, and hearken the frequencies of the wisdom that was mine before the world trained me to forget it. I rose because I stopped outsourcing my authority. I expanded because I stopped negotiating with my brilliance. I became a sovereign because I stopped being manageable. My highest expansion began the moment I stopped being told what to do and started hearkening the veracity and the authenticity that only awakens when I stopped following and started perceiving the prowess within me. Why I stopped being told what to do dissolved ancestor programming. Because ancestor programming survives through obedience, and I stopped feeding it. Every time I obeyed without questioning, I was reenacting survival scripts. And that's something the mind runs on is survival mode scripts. It always operates from yesterday. My ancestor needed the scripts my ancestor needed, but I stopped requiring in my life. Their fear-based reflexes, my fear-based reflexes live through my compliance. The moment I stopped being told what to do, the ancestral loop lost its power source. Obedience kept the lineage alive. Awareness ended all inheritance. Because ancestor programming collapses when you choose perception prowess over permission. My ancestors were trained to follow orders to stay alive. I was trained to follow orders to stay acceptable. Both are cages. When I stopped seeking direction and started perceiving directly, I broke the generational spell. Permission is inherited, perception is awakened. Because ancestor programming dissolves the moment you stop performing the past and start embodying the present moment. Being told what to do kept me acting out old identities. I did that really good though. The loyal son, the good citizen, the compliant character. Listening inward shattered the performance. Questioning exposed the illusion. Awareness returned me to the self that isn't shaped by history. I didn't just break the pattern, I ended the lineage of limitation. Why being told what to do deepens social obedience. Because every command you obey trains your nervous system to outsource authority. Being told what to do conditions you to look outward instead of inward. It wires your instinct. Now wires your instinct to defer, comply, and wait for direction. The more you obey, the more you forget how to perceive. That one's true. Obedience becomes a habit, and habits become identity. Obedience, dependency, awareness, sovereignty. Obedience equals dependency, awareness equals sovereignty. Because following instructions keeps you aligned with the collective script, never your own signal. Social obedience thrives when you stop questioning and start performing your, through your own talents. Every time you follow a command without inquiry, you reinforce the world's expectations instead of your own clarity. The system never needs your brilliance, it needs your predictability because it wants to know exactly what you're going to do, and so you'll follow it. Being told what to do keeps you in the role they design, never your sovereign way of life. Instructions is conformity, listening is liberation. Because obedience strengthens the herd mind while weakening your inner compass. Social obedience deepens when you stop sensing and start complying. The herd moves through fear, habit, and inherited rules, and obedience locks you into the frequency. The moment you stop being told what to do, your inner compass comes back online. You stop echoing the crowd and start hearing your own clarity. It's a herd mind is captivity, inner compass is expansion. Why being told what to do keeps the mind calm. Keeps your mind calm. Because being told what to do sedates the mind by removing the need to think. When someone else gives the instructions, the mind shuts off and it's questioning, perceiving, and choosing. It slips into passive mode. No decisions, no discernment, no responsibility. Calm isn't clarity. Here, it's sedation. The mind isn't peaceful, it's parked. Mine gets that way. Because obedience gives the mind a script, and the script silence instinct. Has that ever occurred in your life? It has mine. A command hands the mind a pre-written path so it doesn't have to sense, evaluate, or perceive your path of enlightenment. The mind relaxes because it's never required to be awake. But that calm is the quiet of captivity, never the stillness of awareness. Scripts soothe the mind while suffocating the self. Because you being told what to do replaces inner authority with external certainty. The mind calms when someone else claims to know what's right. It loves the illusion of safety. And something else is because but that calm is borrowed, never earned. It's comfort of outsourcing your inner compass. The moment you claim authority, the mind wakes up and calm because consciousness is never compliance. Why always being told what to do destroys choice making abilities and agilities because you become attached to the outside. Because constant instruction calms and quiets down the inner compass. When you're always told what to do, your instinct stops firing. Your discernment dulls, your perception weakens. The mind becomes a follower of commands instead of generator of clarity. Choice making isn't a talent. It's a muscle, and obedience keeps it untrained. Because external direction replaces internal choices. Every time you obey, you outsource your sovereignty. You stop sensing, evaluating, and choosing. You just execute. This kills agility because agility requires responsiveness, never compliance. A commanded mind reacts, a sovereign mind navigates. Because obedience freezes you in linear thinking, while your choice requires multi-delusional awareness, dimensional awareness. Being told what to do locks you into one path, one answer, one perspective. Choice making requires scanning the possibility of the scenarios and the whole field of foresight to illuminate feeling your outcomes and shifting in the here and now. Obedience collapses your options. Awareness multiplies them. The more you follow, the less you can flex. Why self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, punctuated writings, and therapy are habits of being told what to do programming. Because they train you to seek answers outside yourself instead of sensing the veracity inside yourself. Self-help and therapy often hand you frameworks, steps, and best practices, all disguised as command. They condition you to believe someone else knows your path better than your awareness. This keeps you dependent on guidance instead of sovereign perception. External answers equal obedience. Inner sensing is liberation because they replace instinct with instructions, turning your growth into a rule following ritual. Personal growth culture. Personal growth culture teaches you to fix, heal, improve, and upgrade yourself through prescribed methods. Every method is another command. Every command is another obedience loop. Instead of awakening your clarity, it strengthens your habit of waiting for direction. Instruct builds followers. Awareness builds originals, your original talents. Because punctuated writing and therapeutic scripts keep you narrating the past instead of perceiving the present. These systems anchor you in analysis, reflection, and story, all past tense thinking. They keep you rehearsing old identities instead of dissolving them and rising out of them. The more you analyze, the more you obey the mind. The more you perceive, the more you break the programming. Past-based processing equals captivity. Present-based clarity is sovereignty. Why change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness is being told what to do programming. Because they command you to fix a self that was never broken. Obedience disguised as improvement. The entire change, heal, create, transform industry is built on the assumption that you're insufficient as you are. That assumption is the command. The moment you accept it, you enter the obedience loop. Fix yourself, improve yourself, upgrade yourself, redeem yourself. It's never liberation. It's compliance dressed as progress. The mind becomes a repair project instead of a perceptual instrument because these concepts anchor you in past tense identity instead of present tense awareness. Change, healing, and forgiveness all require a story, a wound, a flaw, a villain, and the past. And once you're in the story, you're in the script. And once you're in the script, you're in the programming. You're told what to feel, what to fix, what to release, and what to become. Awareness never needs any of that. Awareness dissolves the story instead of managing it. Because they keep you dependent on methods, mentors, and mental frameworks. Architecture of being told what to do Transformation culture thrives on steps, stages, tools, rituals, and processes. Every step is a command. Every process is a leash. Every ritual is a reminder that you're not allowed to trust your own clarity. Forgiveness, healing, and transformation become endless homework, never awakening. The programming survives because you keep following the instructions. While listening, questions, and hearken wisdom liberate me and liberate you from being stuck and being told what to do, shows you a better way. Because listening breaks the trance of obedience and reconnects me and you to our own signals. Being told what to do keeps the mind in autopilot, numb and compliant and disconnected. Listening snaps me out of that trance. It shifts from reacting to perceiving, following to sensing. The moment I truly listen, I stop inheriting direction and start receiving clarity. Listening equals awakening. Obedience equals sedation. Because questions dissolve the illusion that authority knows better than awareness. Questions disrupt the script. They expose the assumptions, the conditioning, and the invisible rules I was trained to obey. Every question I ask reclaims a piece of my sovereignty. Every question I ask claims a piece of my sovereignty. Questions never create a rebellion, they create recognition. Recognition shows me the path that was always mine and divine. Questions equal liberation, commands equal confinement. Because hearken wisdom unveils the better way that obedience could never show me. Obedience keeps me looping in the past. Hearken wisdom pulls me into the present, into instinct, intuition, imagination, and inner authenticity. It shows me the path that is never based on fear, approval, or conditioning. It's never louder than commands. It's just more authentic. And once I hearken it, I can never go back to being managed. Hearken wisdom equals a direction from within. Being told what to do is a limitation from without. Why energetic liberation, cowboy wisdom, and politically incorrect inspiration destroy habitual limitations of being told what to do. Because energetic liberation instantly wires you from obedience to awareness. And if you take the word no out of your life and put aware or awareness or awaken awareness, you really feel the liberation. Being told what to do trains the nervous system to wait, comply, and shrink. Energetic liberation flips that circuitry, wakes up the instinct, perception, and sovereign choices. It dissolves the habit of outsourcing your authority to reconnecting you to the signal beneath the noise. Obedience numbs, liberation ignites. Because cowboy wisdom breaks the domestication that obedience depends on. Cowboy wisdom is raw, direct, sovereign led. It never bows to rules, laws, or rehearsed expectation. It shows you to ride your own horizons instead of marching in someone else's line. The moment you embody that frontier clarity, the habit of being told what to do collapses. Domestication trains followers, cowboy wisdom births original. Because politically incorrect inspiration shatters social conditioning that keeps obedience alive. This kind of inspiration doesn't play nice with inherited norms or collective scripts. And it disrupts the mental autopilot that makes obedience feel safe. It exposes the illusions, cracks the trance, and shows you the freedom that exists outside approval. Inspiration refuses to stay polite. Conformity dissolves, sovereignty rises. Inspiration entertains the brain as knowing, thinking, and knowing drains the brain. It's really inspiration gives you the energy and the energy to expand out of wherever you're at. I want to thank you. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, and may your day be as blessed as you are a blessing to me and the world. Thank you and